Hello YouTubers, I'm Parviz and this is our 40th video in Android application development. So in this video I want to show you that how you can create different animations in Android Studio, how you can animate your widgets in Android Studio. So this is the example that we are going to make like this, and we have different animations for these buttons. So the purpose of this video is creation of these animations. So now let's get started. I have created a new project and now it's the creation is I am waiting for the creation. So well guys, now this is my project, and let me remove this text view. So also I'm going to change the constraint layout to the relative layout. Relative layout. So now I'm going to add some buttons in here, so like this. So this is my first button, and also I want to add some more buttons in here. This is my second button. Also I need to add another button. This is the third button, and also fourth button. Also I need one more button. Let me make it here. And also the fifth button, like this. Okay, so this is the five button that I'm going to use for the animation. First thing you need to create an anim folder in your res and directory anim. So now we are going to work with the first animation, so that is a translate animation. There are different animations that you can use. For example, we have translate animation, we have alpha animation, and also we have a set animation that is the mix of other animations, for example alpha and translate or some other animations. So the first animation that we are going to work at is click on anim resource. Let me call it translate. Okay, so right now this is set. I don't need to set it. I will show you the example at the end. For right now I'm going to choose translate. So now we need to write our animation, and Android, so from X delta I'm going to give it 100, and Android 2x delta, and I want to give it 250. Also Android, I'm going to give a duration for this, so duration 1000 milliseconds, so it's in millisecond. Okay, so first let me in here create a button, so button 1. So in here let me create button, I call it btn1. Also I need to implement the on click listener in here, so on click listener. Now we need to implement the on click in here, so First let me import this. Okay, implement method on click. Okay, so also in here you need to set on click listener. So first you need to find the ID for your button, btn1 find view by ID or dot ID dot it is the ID is button, because I haven't changed the ID, so it is button. And now we can set the on click listener, so btn1 dot set on click listener and make it this. Okay, now in here I'm going to check, so if v is btn1, so if a user click on btn1, I'm going to load the translate animation. So in here I'm going to create animation. Animation, I call it, for example, animation 1, and animation utils dot load animation. So the first one is the parent, I'm going to give it this, the context, and the second one is the animation name, so it is anim dot translate animation, and at the end we are going to start the animation. So btn1 dot start animation and animation 1. So now let me just run this. So guys, now this is the project. If I click on button 1, on this button, so this is the animation that we have. Also you can set the repeat count if you want. Android repeat count, and I'm going to give it 5. Also you can set the animation from the Y, so Android from Y delta to I'm going to give it 10, and Android to Y delta, so this is from Y delta, and Android to Y delta 150. So now if I run this, I am waiting for this. So guys, this is my project, and one important thing guys, I have forgot to add a T in the count, so you can add that. Let me run this. Now you can see we have a repeat count to 5. So this was translate. Now we are going to learn about another animation, that is alpha animation. So let me make it alpha and change the set to alpha. Okay, so now we need to give Android from alpha 0.3 and Android to alpha 0.9, and now you can give the duration, Android duration 1000, and also you need to give Android repeat count to 5. Now in our main activity we need to create this button, so it's our second button. Let me call it btn2, and here we need to find btn2 find view by id or dot id dot, it is button 2. No statement. Oh, sorry. Okay, and now btn2 dot set on click listener, this, and in here we need to do the same process. Let me make it an else if. So else if v is btn2, we are going to do the same process in here and change this to animation 2 and load animation. Change it to animation 2 btn2, and in here we need to change this to dot alpha. Now let me just run this. So guys, now this is our project. If I click on this button, you can see we have a fading action in here. It's repeated 5 times. Okay, so the another animation that we are going to create is scale animation. So let me call it scale and change this to scale. Okay, so now we need to give the first the sizes. So we have a from X scale and also we have a to X scale. Android from X scale, I want to give it 1.0, and Android to X scale, and I want to give it 0.7. Android from Y scale, I want to give it 1.0, and Android to Y scale 0.8. And also you can give Android, you can give a pivot X and Y. I don't want to give, so let me just give a duration to 1000 millisecond, and also Android the repeat count to 5. And we need now in the main activity we need to create another button. So btn3, and now we need to find this. Let me copy and paste this in here. This is btn3 and this is button 3, and also let me copy the set on click listener for my btn3. btn3, and now we are going to do the same process in here. Let me just copy the else if and paste it in here. This is btn3 animation 3 btn3 animation 3, and you need to change the alpha to the scale like this. Now let me just run this. So now I am waiting for the project. So guys, now this is our project, and if I click on this button, so you can see it's scaling, become small like this. Okay guys, now we are going to do another animation that is a rotate animation. First let me create a new anim resource file, and I call it rotate, and in here we need to add for example Android. So first you can add Android. First you need to change this to rotate, and now Android from degrees I want to give it 30 degree, and Android 2 degree 180. This is the rotation degrees. Also I need to give Android repeat count to 5, Android duration to 1000. Also you can give a repeat mode. For example, if you want, you can give Android repeat mode, and I want to give it reverse, so reverse. So now this says rotate in the activity, main activity. We need to create this button, button 4, and we need to copy this line of code, button 4 and button 4. Let me copy this also in here. This is set on click listener for our button 4. Now the same process, let me just copy else if, paste it in here, and I change this to button 4, button 4, animation 4, animation 4, and you need to just change your animation in here. This is it was rotate, so rotate. Now let me just run this animation. So guys, I have made a mistake. You can see Android repeat mode not found, so I have a misspelling in the rotate, so it's repeat mode, give an E. So now let me run it again. So now this is my project. If I click on this button, you can see we have like this animation. Okay, another one is, so these are the 4 types of animation that we have in Android. The another one is a set. So set is the mix of these animation. You can mix these animation and you can add these animation in a set. So now let me just create set a name. So you can see this is a set. Now you can do, for example, I want an alpha animation, alpha, and Android from alpha I want to give it 0.2, and Android to alpha 0.4, and also you can give Android duration 1000. So this is alpha animation. And for example, let me add a rotate animation in here, rotate Android from degrees 30, and Android to degree 80, and also you can add a duration. Let me just copy this code and paste it in here. And one more animation, translate. So Android from X delta 100, and Android to X delta 50, and you can also add a duration. So let me change this to 4000 and this to 3000. Okay, so now we need to so now in the main activity.java we need to create our button 5, so btn 5. Let me just copy this and paste it in here. So this is btn 5 and btn 5, and btn 5 dot set on click listener. Let me add this in here, else if btn 5 animation 5. This is animation 5 and btn 5. You need to now change this to set anim. Now let me just run this. So now this is my project. If I click on this button, you can see I have different animations for this button. So thank you guys. If you have any question, please let me know, and for the further videos on Android application development, please subscribe my channel, like the video and share the video.